I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimicraft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like the video, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to leave a comment. And it would really help me out with the algorithm if you watch the video the whole way through. Before we get started, I'd like to share 3 of the Grandkid creations with tumbling tower blocks. The first is from 2-year-old Milo. Second is from 4-year-old Linnea. And the third is from 7-year-old Theo. Good job, kids. Mimi's really proud of you. In this video, I'll be using Dollar Tree's tumbling tower blocks, Dollar Tree Super Glue wood glue, and Elmer's wood filler in the color natural. You can use any wood filler you like. You'll need 64 blocks, all the same size, so that may mean you'll need a couple of boxes of blocks. Glue 4 sets of 4 blocks end to end. I recommend filling in all the seams with wood filler, and when you're done filling them in, you can wipe them down with a wet paper towel to remove the excess. I recommend sanding after filling to make your project look really high-end. Glue 2 of the 4 block sets as seen on screen. I recommend using a square to keep things really perfect. When this is completely dry, turn it and add another side. This is going to be a square. Use wood filler on all of the joints that you glue together. For the next piece, glue together 8 blocks in 2s end to end, making sure that each of those sets of 2 is exactly half the length of one of the sides of the square. Glue 2 long sides together as before. When this is completely dry, rotate your piece and add one of the 2 black pieces as seen in the video. Continue rotating and gluing, making sure that your pieces are completely dry each time you add a 2 block set. You're going to see here that I messed up a little bit because I wasn't waiting for the blocks to dry. Use your square to keep everything really accurate. Note that every time you rotate your piece, the next piece that gets glued on is glued onto the side of the bottom of the piece from before. Also, note the glue placement on this last piece. This one turned out a little bit wonky. I don't think I chose my blocks wisely. When I straightened it out, it left a gap. So I filled the gap with hot glue, and then I used wood filler to cover the hot glue. This is a way you can fix a mistake if you need to. Here I am using the pieces I already made to help me make my very last piece. This way we can keep things looking nice and looking even. This is Dollar Tree wallpaper. You're going to need 2 sheets of it. I wanted to paint these frames in a green to match this wallpaper, so I had to use some paint that I already had at home to get the right color. I used a combination of green, blue, and just a little bit of black. I traced the inside dimension of each of these pieces on the back of the wallpaper with the intention of cutting them just a slightly bigger than that so that they would fit without showing on the outside. I drew some cutting lines to keep me honest. Place glue on the very outer edge of the wallpaper and then glue your piece on top of it. Don't forget to remove any excess glue. I used wood glue, but I think super glue or another kind of glue would probably work better. Here's a little trick I learned from getting my nails done. If you put a little piece of cotton on the end of a toothpick and wet it down with water, you can get at that hard to get at glue. Do the same for all the other pieces. There should be 5 pieces in total, a square in the middle, and then 4 pieces that are angled. I recommend sealing the wood with Mod Podge or wax. And here's how mine turned out. I used command strips to hang them up. There are many ways you can hang these pieces on your wall. Just use your creativity. Let's try this in a different color. I decided to paint all the wood pieces with Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is just black. I used metallic copper paint to give this a metal type finish. You dip a very stiff brush, this is a stencil brush, into the paint, and then you want to tap off the majority of the paint until the brush is almost dry. After you've done that, you tap it directly to your wood piece. Use as much or as little copper paint as you like. There's no wrong way to do it. I also rubbed paint on the very edges, or I should say corners, of all of the pieces. You'll need 5 of these Dollar Tree peel and stick tiles for the back of this set. This time I decided to put the glue on with a paintbrush. It's probably the neatest way to do it. And then I flipped it over right on top of my tile and centered it and just pressed down until the glue was dry. Next, I trimmed off all the excess tile. I was concerned the white backing on the tile would show from the side, so I trimmed it back a little bit more. Dang it, I tore this tile! this is how this one turned out. Look at the way these tiles pick up the light. It's hard to believe they're from Dollar Tree. Here are some other options for arranging these. You can make more pieces, less pieces, do whatever you like. This may or may not be my hardwood floor. Aren't these fun? Now, let's make these into some shelves. You're going to need a lot of blocks, so I estimate you're going to need 10 to 12 boxes of blocks. Glue together 16 blocks as seen on screen. You will need 12 sets of these. As in the first project, glue 4 sides together to make a square. I used masking tape to hold this beast together while it dried. Next, glue 12 8-block sets together as seen on screen. Be very careful with your block selection and make sure that these sets are exactly half the length of the sides of the square you just made. I have found this method to be the fastest way to fill in larger block sets like this. Took an old piece of t-shirt, that's the best kind of fabric to use, wet it down. You see water there on the table, and I just dilute the wood filler a little bit and just smear it all over the place. It's really quick, and once everything is filled in, you wipe off the excess and allow it to dry. And again, glue these together as you did the other frames you made in the last project. Can't stress enough to let these dry before you go to the next side. I have to do this for filming, but if you don't let each side dry before you move on to the next, you will be sorry.
Yada yada yada, yada yada yada, yada yada yada.
If you want this to be on a tabletop, you can actually glue them together. Here I'm merely using that square in the middle to help me hold up the sides for the other pieces I'm making. Here it is as a tabletop display. This might be really nice on an entry table. Let's see how this looks in black. As I was painting this, I decided I liked how it looked with the inside natural, so I had to go back and sand off some paint that I accidentally got on the inside. It came off real well. I especially recommend sealing anything you paint with black chalk paint. For the backs of the corner pieces, you'll need to glue together 36 blocks in this configuration. Make sure that the blocks on the backs are all facing the right direction before you glue the fronts on. Put some weight on the back while you wait for the glue to dry.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
The back of the square will take 48 blocks. In order to hang these so that they're flush with the wall, you're going to want to use either D-rings or heavy-duty command strips. And here she is. some more options. This last project was just one more idea I had to use these boxes. Fill one square box and one quarter box about halfway fill with some crumpled up newspaper, or this is craft paper actually from Dollar Tree. Next you'll need about 4 bags of decorative rocks. I got these from Walmart. Dollar Tree carries them as well. I filled the boxes as you see on screen and then put the corner box on top of the square box. Place whatever plants you like as decor. These are fake succulents. Even though this was a very last-minute idea, I think it's my favorite project in the video. As always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching my video today. Please bless me with some comments in the comment section. What do you think about the Grandkids projects? What do you think about my projects? Which one was your favorite? Until we meet again, bye!